Yeah, this guy called John. John is a security guard somewhere. As a security guard, he needs to pay attention. There are security cameras, but of course, his human eyes are also needed to examine things. So he's standing there at the gate of this building. It's a bank, and he's just looking around. Anytime people walk towards the bank, he checks whether or not they act suspicious, whatever, and is only allowed to check people if there is a reasonable suspicion that something's off. Now, he saw this lady walking by to the bank and leaving. She was kind. She was an elder lady. She greeted him. He greeted back. And he saw her going back and forth to the bank. In 2 weeks' time, she went there almost daily. Now, he at some point thought, okay, why is this elder lady going to the bank so often? I mean, okay, he talked about it with his colleagues and told them, bro, this is an elder lady. She may not be able to read or write properly anymore because her eyesight is going backwards, or could be she doesn't know how to deal with internet banking, so that's why she goes in person. So he thought to himself, okay, that could be the case. So he didn't think about it anymore. One day, a police detective came, wanted to talk to him. So the two detectives came and said, listen, John, you're a security guard over here, you're doing a good job, your employers are talking well about you, your colleagues too, and you've been here on the watch quite often. Yes, sir, I've been, John says. Have you seen this lady before? And he looks at the picture. Yeah, she's an elder lady. She often came by. She was very kind, all of that. And the police detective asked him, did you notice anything weird about this woman? Nothing about her per se. It's just that she came almost daily to the bank. She even came one time when the bank was closed, and I thought, okay, this is a bit weird. Okay, did you notice anything weird around her? And he thought to himself, weird around her. And then he said, well, anytime she came over here, I noticed there was this black van over there. And yeah, that was a bit weird. But I thought, okay, it could be that van belongs to another company that's operating around here, so I didn't think much of it. And then the detective tells John, your intuition was correct. That woman, she was under blackmail. She was extorted by a bunch of criminals who had something on one of her grandchildren. And because she was the one with the cash, she ended up bailing out her grandson who was being extorted. So we're now looking for the extortioners to arrest them. And John was shocked, thinking, what? But here's the thing. In this parable, John was doing his job, paying attention. Could he have known that this woman was was being extorted and all of that? No. But there was a sign that something was off. Namely, she was there almost daily. And there was this van nearby, this vehicle nearby, always when she went there. Now, these were not big signs into your face. So that John missed out on it, that's not his fault. He didn't neglect anyone, he didn't do anything wrong. Well, let's say now there's a situation where there are red flags in your face over and over again, and people become so surprised when the truth comes out. Let me tell you, two things are possible. Either these people are mentally slow to such an extent that they need help in life. That could be the case. If that's the case, then they just need help. Or it could be they're just flat out lying to you. I mean, in the parable I just gave about this John being security guard and this elder lady going back and forth to the bank and his vehicle nearby every time. I mean, it could be indeed a woman just couldn't deal with the internet, and she went there almost every day for a bank. It could be that she had her own business, that's why she had to go often. It could be that the van nearby just belongs to someone who got it over there. I mean, there are many reasonable explanations for things to pick up. But in this case, there was something off. Now, when the warning symptoms are vague, it's easy for you to not see something. And it's not on you. But when warning symptoms are direct and over again, things won't add up, I'm telling you. If you keep acting like nothing goes on, you're part of the problem. You're in toxic denial. And I'm telling you, this is the reason why so many people each year, they end up molested, kidnapped, killed, done dirty. Now look, not all these people are people who are wasteful and they put themselves in danger. No. There are actual genuine victims out there who are just taken advantage of. I know that. But the thing is, how come such people are often taken advantage of like that over and over again? How come there are people with no bad intentions, people who are actually quality people? Why is it quality people often don't do it like this in this world? What goes on? I'm telling you why. It's toxic denial. Okay, let's change the parable. What if John, as the security guard, is there, and that lady came, and every time she came, it was this woman with her, or this man with her, that was always very, they were always rushing. The other lady would say hi, but the other individual would often just want to avoid contact. That would be a red flag in your face. Because if you're bringing this elder lady to help her out, why are you avoiding eye contact with the security guard? That's off. And if she had someone with her and she went there every day, you would think, okay, the individual brings her every day, why can't they do their internet banking for her or whatever? So, in this case, it would be more into your face, something is off. If security guard noticed this and he didn't report it, now to be on him because he actually part of the bad unfolding. I want you to look at your life because I'm here to assist you and to help you in doing the will of Heavenly Father for your life. This is what I'm here for. Look at the people around you. What are you dealing with? I don't care who it is you're dealing with, whether your mom, your dad, or whether just friends, or some police officer that works nearby, or some politician, or some criminal that's infamous over there. I don't care who they are, what the role is they have in your life. What are they? Are they people that are realistic? That when they notice series of red flags, or they notice things don't add up, are they people that do the investigation and they speak up? If that's the case, it's very unlikely that predators or evil people will even consider you as a target. Because you have a environment that's alert, an environment ready to take action anytime things go too far. But if the people around you are so into themselves, want to be left alone, they're very rich in their thinking, they have a few people that they consider important, the rest of the mankind doesn't really matter, or if they're people that they're always surprised when some scandal comes out or whatever, if you deal with people like that, I'm telling you, you are in bad company. But Rashid, they're not narcissists. These people even help me out. They've been good to me. Okay, they've been good to you. That's good. But the thing is, they're escaping. They're running away from their destiny. That means they're enabling evil on the earth. They're not the evildoers themselves, but they're enabling evil. So let me tell you, if one day you are in serious danger, a lot of people will see it, shut their mouth, and walk away from you. And they'll talk about you behind the scenes. Or just ghost you altogether. Or they make assumptions about you just so they don't feel guilty for neglecting you. I'm telling you. Or they will deal with the situation in such a way that will make things worse for you. I'm telling you all. The people you have around you are key to how things will unfold for you. Let me tell you, some of you believers, the reason why you're not progressing in life right now is because you're still yoked unequally with people that need to leave your life. And Heavenly Father will only continue with you when those people are gone. Because those people cannot be trusted, they're going to be a liability, and they're going to be a stumbling block for you. And God knows exactly what they will do to you eventually. You don't have to have bad intention with someone to cause them harm. For example, let's say now that, okay, let's say now you're at work and it's a colleague who's been sick for a few days. And you have other colleagues ask you, how's he doing, all that. They seem concerned. And of course, you don't tell any private information to your colleagues about that other colleague, but you're just being open, saying he's going through something. I don't know what it is. You can ask him yourself, whatever. So just like that. So you think, okay, that's good. One day, the manager wants to talk to you about that other colleague. And this should already raise eyebrows. So you're thinking, what the heck is this? If there's something with this other individual and you're the manager over here, talk to him directly or talk to her directly. Why do you talk to me about it? You should already know this, okay, this is a setup going on over here. You should want to get out of that as soon as possible. But guess what? If you're not walking by faith and you have no leverage in life work on your behalf, that means also you have no leverage to make things work for you financially. You lose that job, you have a big problem. So that prospect of you becoming homeless or having exponential difficulty, it pushes you not to ignore the red flag and you comply. You talk with the manager about his other colleague. And without you being aware of it, you're revealing things about his colleague that you better could not have revealed. And now, the thing is, there was already a case being built against that colleague, and now, before you know it, the colleague is fired. The thing is, there was a lot of murmuring, complaining about his colleague before, and to keep the workplace functional, the manager decided we need to let this individual go. But we need to have an excuse to let him go. So they were talking to people who were close to the colleague at work, justified something to fire them. So in this case, you ended up helping someone being scapegoated, but you weren't even aware of it. Well, such things often happen, that people don't realize what goes on, and you end up contributing to a bad situation. Look, don't go through life being paranoid all the time. You shouldn't be paranoid to begin with. Don't go through life always expecting the worst, or always asking unnecessary questions as if everyone has bad intentions all the time. No, you don't do that. What you should do is be alert. And one thing about worldly people, even those who are alert, they have their own bias that blinds them. For example, if someone is accused of a crime, and everyone can see this accusation doesn't even add up at all, and they will tell, a worldly official may tell you, you know what, just talk to the police, man, you're innocent. Don't worry, just work with police, it will be all right. A more sophisticated and a more intelligent world will tell you, you know what, get your lawyer. Don't talk to the police. But that's rare. A lot will tell you, man, you're innocent, the accusation will add up, just work with police and we'll be fine. Do you know that there are quite some people being wrongly convicted? And they end up in prison for something they didn't do? Or they end up in prison for something totally unrelated to whatever they were accused of? Listen, when the population has unrest, the interest of the authority is to reduce the unrest, because they can't handle it when the whole population goes crazy, losing their mind. So the authorities will operate in a way to keep the public in check. That's the whole purpose with the police and the court system. So guess what? If the way to keep the public at ease is to frame you, there's going to be a lot of law enforcers and a lot of people think we're not going to comply with this, but there are going to be people who are so dedicated to their job, they will make excuses and they'll assist framing you. And this happened in history. I'm telling you all, you need to know what it is you're dealing with. But here's the thing, some of you, and I have to say, some of you, you really have to look at yourself. You have a rigid black and white thinking yourself. You have a sticky attitude yourself. And because you're not flexible and you're not sensitive and alert enough about your environment, you miss out on key warning symptoms. And because of that, you walk right into a bad situation knowing you're in a bad situation. You need to stop this. Just cut it out. Be Christ-centered, fast and pray more often. By doing that, you'll be ahead in life. And that's what you're supposed to be, ahead in life. Too many believers are backwards in life. Why? Because they still have the worldly mindset, the fleshly thinking, which is all about me. They still have this, they're still in toxic denial. They don't want to face certain things for people around them. So because of this, their perspective is wrong because the perception is wrong. And now they make wrong conclusions and they stay in situations should have left a long time ago. I'm telling you, there are too many tragedies happening to believers every year, over and over again, year after year, decade after decade. When is it going to stop? We need to improve believers. Listen, I'm not telling you to see pagans as a role model because they don't serve the Heavenly Father. But nevertheless, pagans often are far better in this. Pagans are relatively more alert and more sensitive to what goes around them. And pagans are more ready to admit what people are, despite who those people are towards them. If a pagan clearly picks up, based on proof, repeated observation, that the parents are no good for them, they will still treat the parents with basic human decency and be thankful for what the parents did for them, but they will not be close involved with their parents. They'll keep the parents at a distance. But now there are believers who don't even admit when something's off with their parents. Because they have this religious attitude, I can't talk like that or think about that with my parents. And they end up closely involved with their parents, and because of that, they're unequally yoked. And guess what? They're hindered and blocked in life. Listen, if someone is not good for you, because they are either because they're compromised or they remain damaged and because they remain damaged, they're going to damage you at some point. Listen, who they are to you is irrelevant. How you feel about it is irrelevant. The thing is, they're not good for you. They don't have to be reprobates. They don't have to be narcissists to be bad for you. Thing is, those people are not directly dangerous towards you because they don't have any bad intent towards you, but they're not good for you because they're holding you back. They're slowing you down. I'm telling you, believers need to get better in this. What are you dealing with? What are you dealing with? Again, I'll say it one more time. What are you dealing with? You need to ask this question more often. You ask this question more often, I'm telling you, you are going to avoid many death traps, I'm telling you. The reason why Satan has such a leverage over many of you believers out there, by the way, if this does not apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, praise God, it doesn't apply to you. But unfortunately, it does apply to a lot of believers. The reason why so many of you believers are under the grip of demons, you are tossed around from tragedy to tragedy like that, is because you're not fasting and praying, you're not getting insight from the Heavenly Father, and the thing is, you are in toxic denial. You need to learn to see people for what they are. That doesn't mean that you don't care about them anymore if they end up being a liability towards you. It simply means you love them from a distance. You change how you relate to them. Listen, a lot of people in the world, you have to walk in love towards them, but you can't walk in love with them because it's not safe to walk with. You need to learn this. Over the years, I had consultations with many believers. Some of us unbelievers want a consultation also, but I prefer to have consultation with believers because they have the option to walk by faith, which an unbeliever does not have. And let me tell you, both with believers and unbelievers, I see the exact same thing. People end up in bad situations that they could have easily avoided because they have no clue what it is they're dealing with. And the thing is, they can change their own attitude, so that's not it. But they can't change the attitude for other people. So at some point, you need to admit it's the people around them. Listen, if you've done your part, you've done your part. There's nothing more you can do. But are the people around you doing their part? Too many believers are too uncomfortable admitting that they have a people problem. They want to distract themselves, and they do by fighting evil spirits. And they go to churches where they keep talking about fighting this kingdom of darkness, which doesn't even exist. There are believers who dedicate themselves fighting demons instead of admitting that there's a people problem in their life. It's not them because they're doing their part, but what the heck are they dealing with? And because they can't change these people, and because they can't 1, 2, 3 find other people that are better, they have a challenge now. They have a difficulty they have to process. And because they want to process difficulty, because it can be quite intense, they distract themselves with fighting demons. Or some become to blame themselves. They become very hard on themselves. Even others don't know, yo, stop being so hard on yourself, y'all. Why are some believers so hard on themselves? Or why are some believers distracted with fighting demons all the time? Because that is psychologically, is how they see it, less challenging than meaning they have a people problem. Now, a narcissist just goes around blaming everyone else because they want to face themselves. There's always someone else, never them. That's a narcissist. You're not doing that. We were told that to never blame other people. Well, let me tell you one thing. If it's not you, and still things don't still keep going wrong, it's something else besides you. For you not to admit when others are to blame, I'm telling you, you're being delusional. You're sabotaging yourself. Now you're the one fighting against yourself. You actually contradict yourself now, and you actually are assisting your own demise. When it's a people problem, admit it's a people problem. This does not mean you're going to become antagonistic against people and attack them and become a crybaby, beg them to change all that. No. If they are the problem, they are the problem. Change how you relate to them. Stay peaceful, stay calm, but change how you relate to them. Stop remaining unequally yoked with people you should have left a long time ago. Because those same people, if your circumstance become too draining, too challenging, they will find one way to abandon you. As a matter of fact, they already did abandon you indirectly by not facing themselves and improving. If they fully cared about you, were considered about you, they would care about themselves and they want to improve, be the best it could be. But the fact they're not doing that means they, first of all, they neglect themselves and they're also neglecting you. It's just a matter of time for they actually do the direct abandonment. Listen, stop wasting your life with people who will not become better. Stop wasting your life with people that will allow bad things to happen to you. Stop wasting your life with people that always have an excuse for why they're not doing their part. I mean, cut it out, y'all. Cut it out. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching this video, listening to this video. Keep getting with Christ. Walk by faith. I see you in my next live stream. Shalom.